and we are now joined by Marty Clarke. Let's hear from the coach, brought to you by Shamrock Office Solutions. Well, I mean, this was a close one at halftime, obviously. I mean, 34-34, and then you go on your run. Oh, let me turn you up there. There we go. Forget about that. I have the crowd mic in here from TV,
and
it comes in really hot. So if I don't turn it all the way down, it's like it's deafening. But I mean, listen, it was a close game, and then the 26-6 run, and that all started with some stops and some turnovers on the defensive end.
Yeah, I mean, the first half we gave up points in transition, which is really unlike us. Boyce got a couple of baskets, and we had numbers back. We just didn't have numbers back in position, ready to guard. It was almost like we thought, we're okay, we're here, and then you got to be ready to guard those guys, especially guys like Boyce. If he's got the ball in his hands, he is looking to score. He scored 1 on 5 at one stage in one of the breaks, and as I say, we had the bodies back. They just weren't aware enough, or they weren't in the position, or they just weren't expecting it, and they should be. But you take out those transition points in the first half, and I think we actually played well. I think we played well enough to have a lead at the half. Obviously, giving up a 3 right on half time to a guy on the scout that's no right, no threes, and he went right and pulled up and shot a 3. Probably doesn't make Coach B all that happy with that one.
I was going to say, I mean, a lot of times you'll see the last possession of a half turn the momentum of a game, or that didn't happen in this one. I mean, you came out even there over the first couple minutes, then you went on your run. But what's the message in halftime after that 3, and then, like you said, the transition defense?
Well, certainly we'd just made it 3, so it's like you have this big swing towards us, and then the double swing back with a 3 right on the buzzer. It could have been a big momentum swing, them going into halftime, having made that 3. But and then we just did a really good job defensively. I mean, 16 points to a very good offensive basketball club. Guys that can shoot it well, and they got off and they made some 3s in the first half. Again, they were from things that we knew about, which is kind of disappointing, because if you're going to spend the time to tell guys this is going to happen, you better listen to it. And in the end, we just made. It wasn't even though we made adjustments. It was just like, okay, just reaffirm what we're doing with each individual player, and when the ball goes to the high post, what the 3 different options were, and that's really all it was. I mean, once guys saw it, and it's different than just doing a walkthrough than getting out and playing it live, and that's always the thing with Scout. It can't be at full pace because you're obviously going to play that evening. But look, the second half, fantastic second half.
If deflections were kept on a stat sheet, would Dane Pineau lead the country?
Quite possibly. He is an absolute monster in the ball screen. And I've said it on this radio show before. He could well be the best ball screen defender in the country. I mean, it's. I look at other teams and say, well, why are they bringing him to the ball screen? Because it's probably going to be a turnover or a deflection, or at least minimally it's going to disrupt their offense. And I wouldn't bring him anywhere close to the ball. I'd go and stand in the corner over at the half court and just have him had no influence on the game. But and it doesn't show up on the stat sheet. It's 6.6. I mean, you probably look at that and think, this is a solid game, but nothing fantastic. It's what he does to disrupt the other team that really gives us momentum. You get deflection, someone else picks it up, throws it long. That doesn't come up as a steal for Dane. It certainly doesn't come up for 2 points for him, but he's a very valuable player.
All that, and he also had 4 steals.
Yeah.
I mean, you said it in our pregame show. I mean, he does so many little things that don't show up in the box score. Yeah. If you were looking at a box score and you see Dane, like you said, I mean, not bad, 6.6 rebounds. Nice game off the bench. I mean, he plays 36 minutes, and he is invaluable in those 36 minutes. Emmett Nar was all over the place tonight, too. Maybe one of his best games, certainly in the past month.
Definitely one of his best, or definitely in the last month or so. But I would even say for the year, his control was better. He got to the basket. He's a little bit more aggressive offensively. He hasn't been the Emmett of last year for much of this year. I don't know if it's a confidence thing or whether it's him just taking a back seat, but he was aggressive tonight. He showed some speed. He showed a change of speed, like sort of the steal and a really nice layup here under pressure. It was in the middle of that run where it was like, okay, well, can we keep pushing out? Can we keep the momentum going? And I actually thought generally our push out of the backcourt was better tonight. I thought we got transition baskets, whether they were layups like that or whether they were throw-ahead threes. And obviously Calvin's always going to be the beneficiary of of a push, whether it's thrown straight to him or whether it's thrown up the other side and either skipped across or penetrated and thrown out. And, he's a pretty good one to have on the end of like a scrambling type defense situation. You want to find out where the guy in the goggles and headband is and go and guard that thing.
Well, he was 7 of 11. I mean, credit to him. He capitalized on his opportunities once again. I think he's scored in double figures now 9 of his last 11 games, I think. So I don't want to say that Portland game kind of got him going on a run because we all know that he can score. But he's been on a nice run here.
Yeah, and one of the 2 games actually against these guys down at their place a couple of weeks back where he had those 3 early fouls and went back in early in the second half and picked up a 4th in the first possession. So he only played 9 minutes in that game, and that could well have been one of the reasons why that game was close for so long, that we didn't have his input on the offensive. And I say on the offensive end, but he's actually been really good defensively for pretty much all the year, and he's going to have another big assignment coming up on Saturday night.
Can you give him Brownridge?
Whether he gets Brownridge or whether he gets Fegan or whether he gets Hauser, the three perimeter guys for Santa Clara have really got things going, and he will. Well, Joe will probably play 40. He'll probably play them all on Brownridge, but that's going to be a tough ask as well because he moves so much without the ball and so well without the ball.
Yeah.
I'm not sure one guy can guard him for 40 minutes and keep him down. So, Calvin will have to be ready. But either way, it's going to be. He's going to have another tough assignment.
It looks like Santa Clara is going to win on their home floor. They're up by 9 on BYU with 30 seconds to go. Joe Rahan's floor game tonight was excellent. Only 4 points, but you look at the 8 assists, the 2 steals, the 5 rebounds. The guy just controls the pace of the game. Yeah,
and he's a little bit like Dane. Like he gets his hands on balls, and again might not necessarily always come up with steals, but it's just and we might not be able to pick those things up. It just disrupts the other team, and when you have 2 guys that continually disrupt the offensive flow, especially when you play a team like that relies on a flowing offense where the ball moves from side to side and there's screens and there's curls and pops, and when the timing of things gets out of kilter, it's hard to reset it during an offensive phase and get it back again. And so Joe's always been, again, like Dane, really valuable in the things that don't necessarily come up on the stat sheet. I know last week he had a big offensive game, and he always gets a handful of assists as well. But it's, again, the other things he does that contribute to this club.
How'd your team respond to the zone defense tonight when they went to that?
Yeah, well, they jumped the zone, and 2.5 minutes out, and it was like 2 possessions, and I was like, Carl, I think we're okay. It takes 2 possessions, unfortunately, to say we're actually a really good shooting team. We should want teams to zone us, and a big part of that is Emmett. If Emmett wants to shoot the ball, then we're really hard to zone. If he's not willing to shoot it when he's open, then we become a little easier to zone. I mean, Calvin or Tanner or whoever's out there will shoot it and probably make it, and Jock is a big inside target, and we got high-low again, and Jock was a beneficiary of that. I think Dane got an open. It wasn't a high-low, but it was an inside pass where he shot a layup against the zone as well. And I think we're just getting a little bit more comfortable with it. We didn't see it a lot early, and most teams probably don't zone us. I really think the last 3 years hardly anyone zoned us. But, but we've got some work to do on it.
What was it about this game that allowed you to get out and run? 17 fast break points. That, if that's right, that might be a season high.
Yeah, it would certainly be close to a season high, and that's. I mean, again, it's the deflections, the defense, the rebounding, and without knowing too much about the rebounding count, I think they only got
+6.
They were 5 on the offensive glass, but more of a concerted effort, and we've really, as coaches, we've encouraged the push, get it out of the backcourt quickly, get it up. Get it up and get it in, or get it up and get it across, and then just play out of it. And I guess we're at the stage where the players can control what's going on offensively much more. Early in the year, you, as coaches, you kind of got to have a little bit more control over it. I don't want to call a heap of set plays. I want Joe and Emmett to throw the ball ahead and just let things happen. If the ball gets reversed and nothing's on, okay, now you can bring it out and run a set. You've still got 23 seconds on the clock. It's a long time to run a set, and we're okay with that.
Santa Clara's next, and you touched on it a little bit. Their backcourt's been playing really well, and they just beat BYU by 8 on their home floor. We know about Jared Brownridge. KJ Fagan's back healthy again, and from the sounds of it, it sounds like that backcourt's playing really well.
Yeah, and I think the one that's maybe the forgotten man of the backcourt is Hauser. He's very efficient offensively. He can shoot the three. He's smart. He fits their system, which is kind of the opposite of the system we played today, but it's a definite system. I mean, tonight's game was spread and then things were cutting to the basket. This one, everything's going to be clumped up in the middle of the paint and then people breaking out to the three-point line. So it's almost the reverse of what we've gone through tonight. And when you have like three good perimeter players, they've got Cratch at the 4, who's really turned himself into a guy who can shoot the three. I mean, he's shooting about 40% from the three on nearly half his shots. Oh, not quite half his shots, but a good number of his shots are coming from there. And like 2 years ago, you would have stood under the hoop when he was going to try and shoot it. He was and he still is. He's good on the block. He's very good on the offensive glass. And then they got the big fella in the middle, like he's 7 foot and probably 300 pounds, and he's a force just because of his sheer size. And they look to throw it to him right under the hoop so he can just jump up and put his elbows in the rim.
You're talking about 50 and
yeah.
And he may be the same thing as Jock, because he's had trouble with fouls this year. He fouled out in 18 minutes tonight, but in years past he'd only play for 3-4 minute stretches.
Yeah, and that was really just the nature of a young big. Just didn't have the physical condition to be able to last much longer than that. And that is also the fouling becomes a function of that. Once you get out of shape, you're a little bit out of position, and then you want to please the coach, so you reach in, foul. And when you're 7 foot and your arms are 7 foot, it's easy for the referees to see that foul. The little fellas, they can get in there amongst the forest and don't get seen as much.
No question. Well, Marty, I'll go let you what's remaining of your holiday today.
Yeah. And, Santa Clara Scout. Woo.
Oh, that's what you got. Okay, you get to celebrate Australia with a little Santa Clara basketball.
A little bit of video from tonight's game. It'll be interesting to see because if they've beaten BYU are a really good club, and that is going to be a tough one.
Well, they hit 14 threes. Santa Clara did, and BYU was 3 of 15 outside the line and 0 of 7 in the second half. So, we knew this was going to be a tough matchup either way because like San Francisco, Santa Clara is a better team than they were last year.
Oh, much better. They haven't lost anyone. They've got great senior player in Brown, who I think is the 4th leading active scorer in college basketball. I don't know whether he'll break that record at Santa Clara or not, but he's certainly going to go close to it. He's going to be close to 2,500 points, which is putting the ball in the hoop a lot of times.
So we've seen him do that quite a bit.
Both
here and down there.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, Coach, thanks very much.
No problem.
And we'll see you on Saturday.
Okay, thanks, AJ.
Marty Clarke, brought to you by Shamrock Office Solutions, delivering digital copier and technology solutions to the Bay Area for over 15 years. Visit them online today at shamrockoffice.com as the Gales close out this 66-46 win. And St. Mary's, again, 57% from the floor, as the Gales 7 of 17 outside the arc. We mentioned Calvin Hermanson and Emmett Nahr each with 18 points. Jock Landale finished with 13 points in 26 minutes, and 13 points, 8 rebounds, a pair of assists, 6 of 9 from the floor, 1 of 1 from the free throw line. Jock Landale falls just short of his 9th double-double of the season. Also in the scoring column for St. Mary's, Dane Pineau, 6 points, 6 rebounds. We mentioned all the things he does that don't show up on the score sheet. He also had 3 blocks and 4 steals in 36 minutes. Dane Pineau, 3 of 6 from the field. And if I heard it right, he is going to be our player of the game, and here he comes. It's Dane Pineau. He is our Crown Plaza player of the game.
Oh, it's good to see you.
You too, Dane. Why don't you put on the headset so the people at home can hear what you're talking about? Let me straighten something out. First of all, happy Australia Day. I like the sweatshirts.
And the hat. Just don't miss the hat as well.
Yeah,
there you go.
Is that a...
it's authentic Australian hat. Yeah, absolutely.
Is that a children's hat?
No, it's not. It's just
or do you just have a really big head?
I have a big head. I have a bit of a dome. It's I get it from my dad, who has like a blimp-sized head. It's even bigger than mine. He's around here somewhere.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah. Well, happy Australia Day. Now,
thank you very much.
Let's get this out of the way.
Enough about my cool attire.
Turn your phone over. Now you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan. Am I wrong?
Oh, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Yeah. Rob Gronkowski is on the back of your phone.
Yeah, he is.
New England Patriots. So what's What's the story?
Oh, well, I love Gronk as well. I mean, I can cheer for Gronk while he's not playing the Chiefs.
Kansas City has an outstanding tight end in Travis Kelce.
We do, yeah. He's very good. He was probably one of the best, maybe the best tight end this year. But I've always liked Gronk, and I don't see anything wrong with that. So you can get off my back about it if you.
Who doesn't? I like Gronk too. I thought I'd ask you. I mean, it's a little strange to me. That's all. First of all, how do you feel about the St. Mary's community embracing Australia Day the way they did today, playing the anthem beforehand? We had the Australian flag over on this end, and it's not just tonight; it's really all year long. But I mean, as an Australian playing abroad, you and the rest of the guys here, 7 Australians. How does that make you guys feel?
Oh, it's really cool. Like we're really proud of the sort of tradition we have here, and it was kind of like just a really cool thing that they did tonight for us in honouring Australia Day like that. Just to be embraced like this by the whole school and everyone around. It's really nice. We're a long way from home, and to have them bring a little bit over here with us, it was just a really nice thing, and we really, really appreciated it for sure. The anthem playing was great, and all the things they did were great. It was nice to stand out there with all the Australians and hear that anthem playing again. It's just a cool thing for us for sure.
Do you guys know the words to the American national anthem yet?
Oh yeah, I know it.
Okay,
absolutely.
Because I saw you guys singing during. Obviously, I'd be doing the same thing during the Australian national anthem. I was just curious since you've been here now for 4 years, almost 4 years.
Absolutely. I've heard that thing enough times.
Yeah. This was a close game at halftime, and then the 26-6 run. What worked for you in that stretch? What was USF doing to keep this game close until that run?
We weren't really as switched on defense as we could have been in the first half. In the second half, we really turned it on for sure. It was just fun to be a part of. We were getting so many stops, and they couldn't run because we were scoring a lot. So we were getting a lot in transition, while they were kind of getting stagnant. And that was a big part of it. Just the defense, just kind of locking in there. And I think Emmett got a couple steals, and he just got us going, and that was we built a lot of momentum from the defensive end.
Talk about your ball screen defense. I mean, Marty Clarke called you possibly the best ball screen defender in the nation. Not Australia either. Here, in college basketball. I'm just kidding. That was a bad joke. I'm full of them. Don't worry. What's your approach on the ball screen, defending it, and how have you become so successful at it?
I just try to be aggressive with it. The thing is a lot of times. A lot of bigs get in trouble where they're just kind of worried about the guard attacking them, and that's when you can kind of draw fouls, or you're too timid and they can sort of split you and stuff like that. But if you kind of can be the person attacking them, you can go after the ball a little bit, then it maybe puts guards on their heels a little bit and gives our defender a little bit more time to get over the screen and get back in front of his man. So that's kind of how I approach it. I just try to be a little bit more aggressive with it, and it works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. So it's nice when on nights like tonight when it kind of paid off.
The 3 at the end of the half for USF, a lot of times that can be a momentum builder into the second half. What was the message at halftime, and how did you, I guess not how, but how nice was it to be the ones to be the aggressors in the second half to start off?
Yeah, that 3 was kind of it was a good shot for them, but it kind of fired us up a little bit. We were kind of just annoyed that we were going in at halftime tied up. We felt like we still, even though we hadn't played as well as we could, we felt like we still played better than them. So it kind of gave us a little bit of a kick up the bum, so to say. We knew we had to get going, and it kind of pointed out that we weren't doing the job on defense, and that's where we sort of settled in, locked in there. So a kind of nice little it was a bit. Hey, Dad.
What's this?
This is Australian candy.
So what's in it?
It's a caramel koala.
Thank you.
So it's Cadbury chocolate from Australia. It's got a bit of caramel in the middle.
Oh wow!
It's probably the best lolly you'll have while you're over here. It's just top notch stuff.
This is chocolate, not a lolly.
It's chocolate, yeah. My bad.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Is that so? Do you use that term for all candy in Australia? Lolly?
I would usually call this chocolate. I shouldn't have called it lolly. That was my bad.
That's all right. I made a mistake earlier. I made a bad joke, so we're even. Let's see. Where was I going with it? Oh, Emmett Nahr. Now, you and Emmett go way back, obviously, playing together back in Australia.
Yeah.
How many years before you came to St. Mary's?
2 years, I think. I've known him for a little bit longer than that, but that's how long we played together.
Right. You two are often on the same page offensively. I mean, sometimes he'll throw a pass without even looking, and you'll be right there. he was really on his game tonight.
He was great tonight.
Maybe the most aggressive we've seen him over the last few weeks. How tough is he when he is like he is tonight?
Oh, Emma's a great player. I love it when he's aggressive. Like I tell him every day to shoot more. I mean, I get so annoyed when he pump fakes sometimes, just because he's so good on offense. It's great for us when he's, being aggressive and shooting. And I mean, he's so good. He knows what he's doing. When he doesn't shoot, he's often making a different sort of play, and he's great to play with. There was a play tonight where he just sort of found me out of nowhere, and I didn't even realize he was coming in. And he's an exceptionally smart offensive player, and he makes our offense a lot better for sure. So it was good to see him play really well tonight. He's been good. He's been great this year for us. He might have been a little bit better last year, but he's gotten going, and it's good to see him doing that. 17
fast break points tonight. That might be a season high if this is right. What allowed you boys to get out and run this evening? Deflection, steals.
A lot of it was on the defensive end. We just we got a lot of hands on balls. We got a few more steals than we usually do tonight, I'm pretty sure. And
you had 4.
Yeah, they were just throwing it right to me. It was kind of silly of them. And
as
then
a team, you had 8.
They were dribbling right into me too, which is crazy. It's like they didn't even see me there. Just losing so much weight, I can't even spot me on the floor at the minute.
You turn to the side, and it's like you're not even there. I'm just teasing, obviously. Happy Australia Day.
Thanks very much.